I'm not crying because of anything. I just have watery eye this morning. I just got up. Welcome to JLJ this morning live. I got my coffee. I need it. I need it, kids. Ooh, people are driving me to drink coffee. Good morning. Welcome to JLJ Media. We'll see if anybody comes on. People are draining me. I'm taking today off for the most part. I got a couple of things to do. I'm taking today off because I need a day off because I'm tired. People are just getting to me. Oh my goodness. All areas, all sides. One of the things that I do, and I talk about all the time, is just issues. It's about issues that, affect certain segments of the population. Because I just want to talk about them. Discussions are always good. And I'll put something out there and see where it goes and see what happens. One of the things that I did yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was doing it yesterday, whatever. I posted on Twitter because my friend Jordy Villasuso has been let go from Y&R. He played a Latino character, and that's actually, there was a whole family called was out, so they're all gone. All gone. And he was the last one. Hi, Tony. This is the topic, Tony. And so I said, with Ray leaving, does that leave Rafe and Gabby on Days of Our Lives as the only Latinos on television, daytime television? I added Sonny from Journalism because people went off me last time because he's officially half Latino. He hasn't played at all. Yes, my chocolate twin is in the chat room. He'll be here for a minute. He'll pop out. He won't be here that long. And so I said we just need more representation of Latinos on daytime. I am, of that sense. So I talk about it. Every Latino seems to get it. We're like, yeah, I mean, this, that, blah, blah. And, and Ariana, since she's actually half Gabby, they should be cast her with a Latino looking kid and all that stuff. So I just want to say I come from a mixed race family. My kids and grandkids are all mixed race. We come, Tony's so funny. We come from all shades of sizes, blacks, all shades, all colors, we're all the same. But there is a thing called white representing or white presenting, where, yes, you are Latino or you are Black, but you have blonde hair, blue eyes, light skin, but there's a representation. So what I'm talking about is not the stereotypical, you should have an accent, broken accent, and speak Spanish all the time. I'm talking about the ones who look, they're Latino. Why can't we have that representation on TV? We've had it, and it seems to go away. Now, yes, and I want to address before I get into this, another person said to me, well, some actors come and go. Of course, there was a white person who said this. I mean, it is. I mean, that's my point. Almost every non-Latino has been questioning my question, which to me is so typical. Like, I was like, of course. So I've been going through and responding. I was like, of course. Now, someone did bring up one person, which I forgot, but see, that's the problem. Tony, you know this, you watch Days of Our Lives. I forgot that Nicole Walker is part Latino. I totally forgot because of her father. Now, I thought he was Puerto Rican. Someone says he was Mexican. I thought he was Puerto Rican. But Brandon's her brother. And I was like, oh, that's something they had the same mother. That was Faye, who was white. And I totally forgot about that. So that's why I have these discussions. But here's the problem. Nicole plays, she's white presenting. And she does nothing Latino in terms of, and to me, it's all about, have some artwork in the wall. Cosby shows do that. Insecure did all the time. They'd have certain artwork, play certain music. Like there's just things you can have in the background that are kind of, Latino. But I forgot about Nicole. So I said, Nicole, okay, I'll give you points on that one. But still, again, she doesn't represent, no one would think she was Latina. No one, she doesn't do anything that's like that. Rafe, you remember? I wish I remember more. You don't remember Tony? Because her father was bad. She had a bad father. That was the whole point. And he got her to porn or whatever. I saw some story, but she was bad. But I Nicole forgot. With Ariana, they just made her blonde and blue-eyed like the rest of that Brady family. So they went from that side of the family, which can happen, yes. But Gabby is literally, she's Latina, and she's the only Latina lead actress on any soap opera that plays Latina. So I'm just saying, I'm like, that's not an accomplishment. That's great, but she's the only one, and she talks about it. And Camila Banus talks about it off camera about that. So I was saying, so another shows had Latina actors and they're all gone. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm not one of those kind of people or whatever. I'm just saying that it's just interesting that white folks survive these shows, even black folks survive these shows, but we're Latino. We're Latinos. On Ray, I know he had a whole family, and one by one, they're all gone. No replacements. No, Eva LaRue is beautiful. Sasha Calle, of course, she went on to play a superhero, but they didn't replace her. He had a whole family on that show, and now they're all gone. Sunny, let's get to Sunny. Sunny, I said, I'm talking about real life. They have Latino actors who are playing non-Latino. Somebody brought up Nicholas and Spencer. I'm talking about real life. On the show, they play half white from their mothers and half Russian Greek from their fathers. The Cassadines, that's a Greek name. It's not Spanish, it's not Latino. They don't play Latino at all. So you keep bringing him up. Sonny, yes, he's half Latino, but he doesn't play it. His kids don't play it. They're all just, they don't, nobody plays. They all have dark hair like him. Well, there you go, Tony. He didn't look loud. Well, there you go. That's my point. Like, where are the Afro Latinos? Where are the other? There's all kinds of. Why aren't we just seeing that? That was just my point when I brought it up. Is that there's just not really any on there. But people are trying to bring, well, this person out like they're not presenting themselves that way. Yes, Molly and Christina and Morgan, anybody's, Donna and Avery they're all half Latino or a quarter because of Sunny. But no one's talking about him. There's nothing Latino about anything on that show on General Hospital. Bold and Beautiful has no Latinos. They're in Los Angeles. And they're no gay people. Now it's about that too. I go, it's a fashion house. There's no gay people in the fashion house. Not one of the main characters is gay. None of them came out like, we don't have a gay Forrester. No one's come out of the closet. It makes you laugh. I love the show. It makes you laugh. It's a fashion. And yes, so before I said it's a stereotype. It's a stereotype that's for real. There are a lot of gay people in fashion. There just are. There are. So let's get over that part. I'm saying it's not there. Young and Restless, so none of that. General Hospital has, like I said, not really any Latino representation on there. Like I said before, Days of Our Lives is one of the few shows that actually, when it comes to Black folks, they showcase their Black folks. Now they're lacking in the Asian territory. We got Trask, we love her, but they got rid of her daughter. That was kind of weird. But when it comes to Black folks, I said it before, Days of Our Lives so far has the best representation. They use their Black folks. They're all over the place. They're doing stuff. The Black folks they're working. So Days gets, for me, I don't have much problem. Now, some of the acting is a little crazy, but that's another story. But they showcase their Black people on there. And General Hospital has a lot of Black folks too. Whether you like it or not, there's a lot of Black folks on there. They're running around, but they got rid of the gay folks. So, like, what happened to the gay folks? We got Brad. The rest of the gay folks are gone. It's like Deja Oscar, we had a whole gaggle of gays, as Tony would say, and they got rid of them. And then they brought some back. And actually, the funny story, that's a funny story, actually. So I'll give Dave's credit. They got some gay stuff going on over there, some gay shit, as we say, going on over there. But again, Latino and like Asian representation. Yes, Camila is Latino. As I said earlier, Camila Banus is Latino in real life and on the show. And my whole thing was, my statement yesterday was, who is Latino characters on the show? Not actors, characters. Because sometimes with people who are mixed race or Latino, they can get away with playing different ethnicities. I call it guess my race. They can play with and even some Middle Eastern too can do the same thing. They can play Italian and this and that. And that's the point. But who is on the show? Camila is one of the few people who is Latina in real life and Latino on the show. And they actually played it part of the storyline when Julie was calling her Cha-Cha and all that stuff. I actually kind of loved it. That's just me. They're trying to call Julie racist. But that's what they actually played that part of the show. And that to me, like that I liked. And I'm not even saying every storyline has to be an ethnic storyline either. I'm just saying representation and maybe in the clothes they wear, how they do their hair. Because black women, I always said we, but black folks, we do our hair all kind of ways. That's when we express ourselves. But like just how Latin women can have their hair and how they dress. Like I said, have an African American art on my wall. Just have a Latin American art piece in the background. Just something, right? I mean, just something. I think that to me, it's just well-rounded representation. That's all. That's all I was asking for. That's all I asked for all the time. I get in trouble all the time. All the time. All the time. I get in trouble. But people want to argue with you about it. It's like, no, I'm not talking about the actors. There's a couple actors, yes. Nicholas Chavez, who plays Sonny, plays Nicholas, is Latino in real life. You can tell. He looks it. But he's not playing it on the show. He's not. Playing a white dude. Spencer Castine is what he's playing. So that's just saying, just asking a question. And see, and like really seriously kind of asking a question, like, where is it? We see just different cultures. That's all. We're starting to get some Asians because now, and you see how big they are. Selena Wu is huge. They love her on General Hospital. Lydia Look is the bomb. When she's Singaporean, good for her. Like, good for her. Lydia Look's out there, and I love her. We have an online love affair. I love her. I want to show at some point. Of course, the woman who plays Melinda Trask, Tina Wang, she's great. Now we got homegirl who plays Allie on YNR. She's good. She was Daisy on General Hospital. And then we have Brad, of course, my friend, my good friend, Perry Shen. That's only 4 people. The guy who plays Mr. Shen, the young one on Days, I don't know why he's not a regular character. He's hot as F. Hot. Whenever he shows up, everybody's like, how hot he is. Why don't I have him on the show? Why is he a recurring character? There are plenty of women on that show who can fall for him. But again, showing an Asian man in a romantic situation, we don't want to see that, do we? Is that what's going on there? We're still trying to emasculate Asian men. I'm just saying, everyone's like, he's hot. Why not? Now, yeah, but he is. He's totally this hot dude. When he comes on, he can act. Clearly, he can act. He's hot. Why not having a storyline? I don't understand part of the whole Demira stuff that's going on. Why he's not on more? It's always just they throw him in once every 3 or 4 months, and then everybody's like, wow, Terrence. I did. Here you go. Tony, not Terrence. Oh, there you go. Like I said, Latasha, I just said we have Melinda Trask. She's Asian. That's one person, and she's reoccurring. We love her. We love her. I'm saying there's 4 Asians literally on daytime television. Thank you, Janae. Exactly. When you're in single digits in representation, it's a problem. That's it. I like that. Okay, I was about to bring up Latasha Hunter. Thanks for segueing this. And you're like my co-host today. So the new guy, Michael something Cruz, like his real name in real life is. We don't know what he is in real life. I think he could be mixed race or Pan Asian, Eurasian or something. We don't know for sure. But looks like there's Filipino in there or something. So the new cop plays Roy Cabrera, which is a Latin name, but that's also could be for a Filipino or Pacific Islander. He looks like he's Asian of some sort, and people are going goo goo gaga over him. You know, he's hot. But he's hot. He's smart. He's hot. I totally agree. He's hot. There's a guy out there who I'm fighting with online about the age difference stuff, and I think he's eschewing the age because he thinks the guy's hot. Every post is all about him. So I'm like, oh, you're in love with him. So now I get it. That's why you're pushing for this romance with him and Trina, because you think he's hot. You know, yes. Everybody vote for Tony as Torrance. Torrance. That's the wrong person. Terrence. Torrance is a city. Torrance is homegrown. Bring it on. We're sexy and cute and popular to boot. We're bitchin'. Great hair. No. I could do the whole cheer. Don't get me started. Well, now Harmony. That's a great point. Now I'll get text me. I'll get that in a second. I'll write that down. Other races. I'll get that down because that's a great point there too. I'm gonna get to that in a second. That's a good point. Okay, but first, this Roy. So he looks different now. He's a man of color, you can tell of some sort. So I'm excited they cast him. So I'm very curious to see what they do with him because we have no idea. So yes, so good for him. They cast somebody there. Now Texas Ranger fan brings up the actress who plays Harmony, that she's Icelandic and Spanish Egyptian. Now, talking about, we don't have hardly any Middle Eastern representation on daytime at all. So I call it people other. We need more of that too. See on the show, there's a show called Ghosts. I love this show. And so I love it. I love it. One of my favorite characters on the show, his name is Roman Zaragoza. He plays Sash. He's Indigenous, and in real life he's Indigenous. So you don't. And his father was on the show. His real life father played his father on the show, and he's Indigenous. Again, we don't see any of that either. It's like let's see. I mean, we need other people. I say having Lydia Look, who's actually Singaporean, not Korean, not Japanese or Chinese, the usual we go to. I applaud that because her look is different. You know she's not Chinese or Japanese. Like she has a different look. And I just think that that's something that's very. It's like, why don't we have more of that too? Because if I'm bitching about not seeing enough Black folks or Latino folks or Asian folks, I can only imagine what they're thinking. One of the stars of my show, The Email, it's audio drama. He's Indigenous. His name is Jeremy. He goes by Jeremy O. He's Indigenous. He's the lead guy of my show. Why not? I passed him because I thought he was good, and he's so good in the role. But it was just like, why not have it in there? So yes, the actress who plays Harmony, she has a really beautiful ethnic look of sorts. You're like, what? You look at it and go, wow, what is she, so to speak, other than a human being? But you look at it and go, wow, I wonder what her cultures are. She's striking to look at. Not either. Could you imagine a strike? I want to see a nice hot Middle Eastern man on daytime. They had them for a while. They had some East Indian men on daytime. YNR had one. Oh my God, Abby Singh is his name in real life. He was on there and he had a storyline for a while, and him and Ashley were kind of doing it. I'm like, why are we, spreading the wealth? It just seems, my question is just that we seem to go to, in 2022, it is 2022. The world is mixed up as it is. It is everywhere. There are actors of every background running around here wanting jobs. I was thinking, where are soaps and other TV shows, but soaps doing enough to, Jeremy O, doing enough to, that's a cute emoji for email and stuff like, God, Kirsten, you always have the emails, like the emojis, or doing enough to give people the chance. Is it always, Tony and I know this, we both have done auditions and been in things in Hollywood. It's almost like there's just two races, Black and white, and in most cases just white than everybody else. So I was wondering, why can't we have roles that the person is of color of some sort? It doesn't have to play a stereotypical. That's not what I'm asking for. I mean, stereotypical, I'm just saying, but just, when you look at them, just seeing a face that looks like yours can change everything. and just seeing diverse looking people. And we're still fighting the skinny fat thing and the tall short thing. And I mean, there's a lot of things we're fighting in Hollywood, but I just feel like, are we getting a shot? That's what it is. But nobody wants special treatment. You just want to be able to have regular treatment. Like I try to tell people, it's not about make an exception for me. You have to hire, do was it affirmative action? Just more of just like, if there's a role, does it have to be white? It just doesn't. And Young and Restless, we're seeing, not necessarily, Jack has a granddaughter who's Asian presenting, but it could be mixed race. And then that happens. Why not? Can she act? Yes. She's holding her own against powerhouses like Michelle Stafford and Peter Bergman and Susan, I think her name was Ashby. Or Susan, I've got a real name in life. She's holding her own. There's so many actors out there I know who literally are ready to go and they tell me they can't get a break. They just can't even get in the door. My friend Michael Galante, who's on a lot of things, he's on Good Trouble right now. I've known him for years. He's mixed race, and he's hot. He's really hot. But a lot of folks didn't know where to put him because he wasn't straight up white presenting. He is kind of Susan Walters. Thank you. I know chat will help me out, but he also has this other thing going on, and a lot of casting those do the other thing. Well, let him do the other thing. Just hire him. He's a good actor. Like, don't worry about what the other thing is. But isn't that funny? I'm just saying, no, it doesn't. Does it bother me when straight people play gay characters instead of hiring gay actors? It doesn't. To me, I think that's a delicate balance. I know for sure. To me, the inherent problem is not enough gay actors get hired. Right? That's the inherent problem. So that's the inherent problem. So when you don't have that kind of representation, then people go, well, I'm gay, I can play a gay character. But see, I know a lot of gay actors who don't want to play gay characters. They just want to play characters. So there's that whole big thing too. So I support whatever gay actors want. If they want to play gay characters and they want more, it's fine. But if a straight person does it justice, which some straight folks have done it justice in the past, and a good story, I have no problem with that. But my whole thing more is, can we have gay characters play straight people? And yes, the answer is yes. There was over the beginning of time there have been gay actors who played straights. So that's more of my. So I don't have. And I know some people have problems with that with straight play. I don't have a problem with that. My question issue always is, are gay actors getting enough attention to play whatever role they want? I advocate that. Not everybody's Neil Patrick Harris or Matthew Balmer or Cheyenne Jackson. There are others out there too, who I'm sure can play straight roles. They can play straight roles and have no problem. We got to be able to start seeing people as actors. And then can you match them in the role? That's what it is. Now the problem kind of part of it is that we have social media. So now we know everything about everybody's lives. So some folks can't separate the person with the role. That's kind of a problem, which I think is a valid problem sometimes. Because the folks are all, it's you know what I mean? Like it's like, so now we know, but when I was coming up, we didn't know anything about anybody. It was all speculated in National Enquirer. I miss those days. I miss the days of not knowing anything about my celebrities. I don't know anything. I really don't. It's not my business. But to me, I should be able, as James Lott Jr., if I'm a talented actor, be able to play whatever I want. That's kind of what, and you're right. No, actually, exception, Cherie, I'll give an exception, and that is Greg Rickhart is gay in real life. And he plays Leo, who's gay on Days, but straight as Kevin on Y&R. And Karen Spears is, I believe, gay in real life, and now he's playing gay on Days. But yes, Cameron Grimes, my buddy Cameron, love Cameron, is bi. And I believe Lindsay Godfrey also said she was bi or just fluid or something. I can't remember what the word she used. I don't want to get it wrong, but she said some use, but she's playing straight person on Days. But you're right, Sharia. They're all most of them are played by straight folks. Which again, someone like Freddie Smith, they're either doing, and Chandler Massey do a great job. They're straight. I've met them, but I've met Chandler many times. Nice guy. And I know some of his ex roommates. They're all straight. He plays Will. He's Will. He's so good as Will. I just think that's so it can work. But are we giving actual openly gay actors their chance to play whatever they want? So whether it is a gay role, or whether it's a gay role or a role that's straight or whatever, are we giving them their chance? I'll tell you, social justice work is just, it is like my time. It's exhausting, kid. I call it out. Now you don't understand. You don't even see. One day I'm going to read the comments. I did it once before on here. I decided to start reading comments from the fans about all the things that I say. It is crazy, the comments. I think people liked it, so I don't do another show on that, so you can see what I'm talking about. People are cuckoo. Okay, so we're gonna do my little note, another show where I read comments. So anyway, so that's the thing. I'm always, which is gay, but he plays straight scenes. So I don't watch Bridgerton. I know it's a huge hit. I don't watch it, but good. Okay, good. I think it's great. I think that's great. If you guys believe him, and then that's, to me, that's the job. Acting is making you supposed to believe when the people are acting. You're supposed to believe what they're doing. That's what kind. I mean, there are some folks you just can't see it. But most actors know their lane. They know what they can and cannot do. So you would never kind of find somebody trying to overstep their lane, except for an ex-actor on General Hospital, which I will not say right now, who to me chewed all the scenery and everything. Ugh. We won't go there. He's not there anymore, so I'll go there. But no, I speak the stuff out. I speak it out. I talk about it. And I know some folks are just like, shut up, James. We don't care. I'm sure. But I'm not going to stop talking about it. Because, it's life. I mean, it's I want people to have choice. I want to be able to try on television and go, you know what? At least we're not going to get everything perfect. But at least there's something for everybody out there, just about. Because we are spending our hard-earned money on products. We're the ones who tune into TV shows. We're the ones trying to find it on Hulu or whatever, Paramount Plus. These shows depend on us. And I just want to say, I mean, behind the scenes, I love many people. I love many of the actors and the producers, and I work with CBS, and I know I love all those folks back there. I mean, I do, and I question, because it's just part of life. It's part of my life. I question. But I think it's something we should all question. We should all ask questions. Hollywood has been a certain way for so long that there's times when I think people everybody just falls in the line, because it's been this way for so long. It's a habit. It just is. I can tell you how many times I've heard, well, this is how it's done, or this is how it's always been. I'm like, but that's not good. That's how it's always been. That's still not good. I think there are many of us who do care. We like our soap opera. We watch it. For those of us who are othered, we watch it in spite of what we don't see. That's just a plain fact, right? We all watch it We may not see ourselves represented on anything, but we watch it because we enjoy the show. You've got us to like the shows with the characters that, you know, that we like. We, as people who are othered, have to make a choice to watch these shows and go, I'm going to watch it, and because I like it, in spite of the fact, I may not see anything represented myself on there. You have 3 Latino Italian grandkids. So yes, for them. Yes, for them. And maybe it will change slowly but surely. Maybe people just, you know, as old regimes go out and new ones come in, that could help also. But I think sometimes, and I always say not everything's racist. I think some things are just not thought of. And I get in fights with some folks think everything's racist. It's all deliberate. In some cases it is. But I think in some cases it isn't. It's just no one thought of it. Everybody in charge is white, or most are white. There's a few that aren't, and they're not really in the positions to do anything. It's just kind of like, it's just default buttons. And we all have that in certain areas of our life. We just default to certain things. I don't know. You tell me. The world's a cultural melting pot. I agree. And prime time's doing that. They're starting to do that. And also streaming. There are more choices of diversity happening, which I think are great. This from gay disabled shows like Looking. Not Looking. Oh my God, that show. I like this show too. I like me on there, but where you see a man who is gay and disabled try to find love and sex, and it's like that. You don't see shows. We never saw shows like that before ever. Yeah, Miss One State of Mind. She was good. That was a good one. State of Mind is the bomb. That show's the bomb. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's other parts of television are starting to do that. I hate to mention the Oscars because all that stuff that happened there, but before the slaps and everything, it was a very diverse Oscars. You know, between hearing impaired, Afro Latino winning, but very Spanish, Caribbean music. I mean, it was good. I thought it was good. I thought it was a great representation of what's going on in the world. You know, that's what it is. The world is the outside world is much more diverse than the television world. Now I walk outside right now, any direction, and I'll hit. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. That's for the call. Thank you. I couldn't think of a name. My boyfriend Matt in there. I can walk any direction and hit a new community. I live in LA. That helps. But I can hit a new community that have a new cultural experience any direction I decide to walk. But on TV and streaming and in other forms, we are seeing a mixed race, you know, Star Trek shows, mixed race, Star Wars shows, mixed race. We're starting to see stuff happen. It's just daytime TV needs to do a little better. Not every gay person is white. I'm sorry. Some of us aren't. You know, I don't, you know, Days was very whitewashed in terms of gay world, except for Paul, who was Amerasian. And I was like, okay, I'll give him that. Where are the black gays? I'm sorry. I want to express something. I watched this show again. I watched this show that I love for 40 years, and myself is not represented on that show at all. It'd just be nice, you know. Some people like black gay people, so I mean, just like, you know what I mean. Like it's, you know, it's just, I think the outside world is much more diverse. It's just much more diverse. It just really is. And I just think I'm always just asking the questions. And people get mad at me, people go off, and people whatever. I just ask questions. Just in your brain, you go, okay. And when I see the results, when people respond to me, sometimes I laugh, sometimes I pull my hair out, sometimes I drink. This is actually just coffee in here. Actually, how funny my cup today is. Choose hope. I don't know if there is any. You know, but some shows do better than others. They just do. So I'm always going to advocate for that. I have a lot, and the thing is, I have a lot of friends. Your first boyfriend was also, and I am black. That's right. You had some Latino action going on between each of you guys. That's how it works, kids. You know, for the longest time, I thought shows were like Sanford and Son, What's Happening, where it's about that look like what I want to shoot to look like. Well, actually, what's funny is I live in areas that look like Sanford and Son. Well, but they're from Watts. They're from South LA. I grew up in South LA. So actually, a lot of those shows that I had friends who say, I don't watch Good Times because I live Good Times. That to me makes me laugh, but also it's kind of like, the Jeffersons was the one that everybody was like, we didn't live that. Or Cosby Show, we didn't live that. Like that was something different. But a lot of those shows, Matt, they literally were where I grew up. And actually, they were actually fictionalized versions of how I grew up. The way they looked was a look, but they weren't as dangerous as I grew up in a dangerous, gang-infested neighborhoods in South Los Angeles back in the 70s. But theirs was, but I know for sure what's happening. They purposely had no gang activity on there. That was on purpose. It was like a sunny side of Watts, which we thought was funny. We love the show. I love the show. That was my show. Hey, that was my show. The GD lunch, that's fine. Matt, I will forgive you anything. You know that. It's like anything. I don't even, but never, you're everything to me. But I think that's what's so but people, that's a good point. It's like, so we had representation. Actually, you go back to the 70s and 80s, there's a lot more representation than there is nowadays. I mean, back then we had like a lot of programs that we could go, wow. Even in the 90s, there were a lot of Black programming, and so let someone. Now see, okay, I'm gonna go on to the age difference thing, because I'm not an ageist at all, and I think they always pair older guys with young girls, but I feel like that's a soap trope that's been done over and over again. Why we're doing it again? I just think this new guy, he's hot, which he is hot. I completely agree. Fans are just like, oh my God, he smiled at Trina, like whatever. I'm just like, I don't even know if he's here for it. We don't even know anything about him. My thing is, in real life, would you want your 19-year-old daughter with a 32-year-old man? If you're a parent, a true parent, I would say 95% of you would say no. I'm one of them. I'll be no. I want my 19-year-old daughter. Yes, I hear something. They're adults. They're like, okay, you can. That's so PC for you to say that they're technically adults, and of course you say it to fit your agenda for the soap opera. But I'm like, in real life, would you want that? No, I'm sorry. And people gave me so many examples of older, young, and I'm like, yeah, most of the time the fans hated it. So it's not even a good. You can't give me these examples. It's not really good examples because people hated that pairing. They hated when Sonny and Emily were dating. I hated that pairing. Nobody liked that pairing. They actually brought up Sarah and Tony on days ago. She has a DID personality thing going on. She thinks she's older. That they're not treating this like a real romance. I'm like, that's not the point. She thinks she's Renee Dumont. But see, here's the thing, Daisy Flower, I'll say this. When you get older, because mind you, I've dated younger because that was the choice I had. I mean, I had choices. But even I have a limit. For me, I will date early 30s if I had to. Not preference for me at all, but I have dated early 30s. And I'm 53. So that's still 20 years younger than me. I don't have much in common with anybody 20 years younger than me. I'd rather somebody closer to my age or maybe 10 years either direction. I'll stay older. Now, 46 to 60, that's 14 years. My parents did that. My mother and my stepdad are 14 years apart. And I feel like there's a part of time when it doesn't really matter, and then it matters. I feel like it matters, then it doesn't matter, then it matters again. Because now my stepdad's 85, 86. My mother's 70, 71. He's really slowing down. So it's a whole different world now. But for like 20 years there, they're not. And we're his teenage. I'm just saying, folks, and people. I think people are fighting me on it because he's hot. Yeah, I remember going to court to be a juror. I hate jury duty. But I go and one of the questions they asked us was, if the defendant was found to be good looking, could you be objective? And they showed the defendant, kids, oh my God. He was good looking. He was so good looking that it was like, he could have been a movie star. And I mean, men, women, everybody in the jury was like, so needless to say, none of us got picked for the jury because we're all just like, I mean, it's like, so I'm just saying, sometimes when you think somebody's good looking, you'll forgive everything else. You just like, oh, whatever they want. Well, you're just like, okay. I think, in theory, you just think, well, you're so. I mean, and it happens to the best of us. You know, it happens to the best of us. You think someone's good looking, you just kind of everything goes out the window. I can joke and laugh about that. But it's how the dating flower. I want to find somebody that you think is super attractive, and see if how easy it would be for you to believe if he taught you and said, "Well, you know your name's not Daisy Flower in real life," but it's like Daisy Flower. I'm innocent. Let me show you I'm innocent, and he's guilty of sin. He's like, let me show you you're innocent. I want to see how easy you would melt Daisy Flower 40. What's going on there? You said, I'm saying, I want to find somebody you find attractive. But you would like, you know, we all have our people that we find attractive. We're like, that's attractive. You just kind of, you know, that's what I like. I want to see if you can find, I want somebody that you like. And you're just like, I'm being funny with you, Dave Flower, of course. I'm just saying, but that's the whole thing. So I think people in general, when they see somebody good looking, it's hard to believe they're bad. You would have to really show the evidence, right, to jar you out of it. So I think sometimes when you see somebody good looking and you just go, sure, you know, I mean that's the thing. I mean, I don't really have a type. I like all kinds, but I have certain ones that get my attention. That I know that I'll be like, I'm sure. You know, and some folks are charming. There's a whole charming factor too in there. Some folks can charm literally the pants right off you, right? But anyway, so this one of those things is human nature, and that's the whole thing about that. But anyway, so the age difference thing, I think, because he's good looking, people are just like, yeah, let me be with Trina. Like, what if he's, as I said before, some of the same folks were pissed about Austin and Maxie. And I actually like Austin and Maxie together. He's too old for her. He's too old for her. Those same folks are firing me saying that this Rory guy is not too old for her homegirl. I'm like, 9-10 year difference at certain ages is different. But yeah, sure they could do it older. But I feel like that's another soap trope. Why do you have so much age difference stuff? Why can't we have two folks close to the same age fall in love and be together? You know, okay. Well, we all have tempers. I don't know. Okay. You know, so Brad Pitt's your man. Is that what you're trying to say, Daisy Flower for you? Brad Pitt's your man. I talked to somebody the other day on the show. She said she could not meet Brad Pitt. She was like, I can't meet him. She goes, that's her dream man. She doesn't want to meet him. He's just too dreamy for her. I had a friend who loved Prince, and she had the opportunity. Prince was in the next room, and she said no. She said, I don't want to meet him because if I meet him, he's not who I think he is. It'd ruin everything. So to the day he died, she loved Prince and had her own, you know, thing. Me, I'm like, I want to meet him. Let me meet everybody. I can't feel that way about Madonna. I'm like, if I ever met Madonna, she's probably a bitch. She probably is. I'd love to meet her, but I don't know if I should meet her. I don't know. She's a diva. I love it. Anyway, I don't know. But yes, but I think this age thing, I'm not ageist myself either, but I just feel like there's certain age groups, you know, and I don't know, maybe it's just being nice to her, to Trina. We're trying to get to know, but we know nothing about him. We don't know what he's about, anything. Have a good day. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just like think about it for a second. There are so many options. Soaps only do so many things, right? Soaps have like the 10 things they do, just different variations. Well, let's like really change it up. I just mentioned, well, we brought a young Black man on the show who's around her age. And a lot of folks just lost their shit. Well, who cares? Why would you lose your shit? Why is that not a viable option? Why is every option she have A white boy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, why can't we throw somebody else in the mix? Just why not? Who's close to, who's 19 also? Like, why is that an issue for you? Then I go back to, it's because you think there's other guys. I mean, seriously, I have not seen this much adulation for a character who just started and said like 3 lines. He has not even done, we don't know what he is and who he is and what he's doing. That people are literally starting to stand a relationship on this. I think it's hilarious. And to me, when it comes to the Sabrina fans, I thought for sure they would never want anybody else with Sabrina. That's it. And that's I thought, I was shocked. Now, when I called it out, of course, there's a Sabrina fan. Yeah, I'm just Sabrina. That's it. I'm just Sabrina. Now, I'm not one of those people. I'm like, of course you're gonna say that. Of course. But from what I'm seeing, is I'm not making nothing up. I'm just scrolling down Twitter. From what I'm seeing, a lot of them are like, I'm okay with this dude over here, this Spencer. And I'm shocked. I'm just, because most shippers are so, their group is their group. Back in the day, it was Bo and Hope, and that's it. Nobody else, nothing else. That's it. And then you got Bo and Carly. Then we had Bo and Billy, and it was like very much those 3 couples, right, on days. But now, I mean, people are just like this, flip flopping all over the place. I'm like, okay, I think it's hilarious. I don't have a dog in this race. I don't really care either way who she's with. I like the character of Trina. I like the characters. I like all the characters. I'm just like, I want to have a good story. I just want good story. Give me a good story. Give me a good story. That's all I want. That's all I want. Today is April 1st, you guys. It is April. See, now Rory and Britt, I would totally be in for. I didn't see any black men in John Cena's classroom. I know exactly. I didn't see any, but then I didn't look hard enough. But I didn't see any. There could have been. I didn't see any. Now Britt and Rory, I would give Britt some, like, I don't want Britt with Drew, and I don't want Britt with and like her and Austin. I give them just friends. I wouldn't mind Rory and Britt coming together. Sure, why not? It's April Fool's. It's April 1st. I don't know April Fool's stuff. I cannot believe it. It's actually General Hospital's anniversary. So GH started 59 years ago. That's crazy. 59 years ago. Wow, that's something else. 59 years ago. So congratulations to General Hospital. 59 years of doing a soap opera. And no matter what you want to say about it, and I know folks are just like, they hate it, they love it, it's the worst, whatever. 59 years of doing a show is an accomplishment. I've done shows for 2 years, and I'm like, and 7 years, and I'm tired. But 59 years to put on a show day in and day out. During COVID, too, we had a whole COVID thing to happen. I think still should be applauded. The 4 soaps are all we have left, and they're all in their middle-agedness. And I just think it's a feat of its own. So congratulations to General Hospital and all the folks over there in Prospect Studios. I think it's congratulations. I mean, that's a lot. Wow. So kids, I'm gonna get off. I'm doing a few things today, but I'm generally gonna take a day off today. I'm tired, and I work 7 days a week. I work 7 days a week, and I'm tired, kids. I am tired. Hi, Donald. I'm just about to get off, Donald. You didn't hear me ranting earlier. I've been on for an hour. But I got other shows to do and things I want to do today. I want to relax. I want to go in my garden. There's things I want to do today. But happy April. Thanks for coming in, talking with me in here. Now, I'm going to continue doing social justice, but I'm going to continue speaking out. I'm going to continue advocating for soaps. I'm going to continue. Yeah, I heard they're going to be on Facebook Live. Say thanks, Sherry. They go at 10:30. I'm going to do that. Check that out. And Matt, Matt, I love you. And I'm talking about my big crush is Matt. Let's have a big crush on Matt Litchfield. He has a man and everything. I like his man too. But I have a big crush on him. He knows that. So whatever you want, Matt, it's all yours. But everybody, yes, I'm gonna get some rest today. I'm gonna relax. I might even do my hair today. I haven't done anything yet. I was just like, it's just so long. I haven't decided anything yet. I'm gonna do. Um, but I'm gonna just get some rest. Friday. It's Friday. I hate that term, but my friends know that. But it's Friday. Normally my sister's off today. We used to go hang out, but she's not off today. So I'm gonna do When Calls the Hearts on Sunday, of course. The soap shows will be happening, of course, on Sunday. The only Sunday we will not be on will be Easter, which is in 3 weeks. There'll be no Easter. There'll be no Easter Sunday. There'll be Easter Sunday. There'll be no soaps Easter Sunday. That's the thing. So, hi George. Hello, guys. But we'll see each other this weekend. Sunday's my shows. Make sure you watch Edition Days, also our sister show on their channel Sunday. Also, everybody, have a good day today.